Hello, my friends. Today I have this book, Fairy Tale by Stephen King, and I need to tell you this is amazing book. This is very fat book, and I thought when I saw it like no chance I can read it, and I was wrong. I mean, first of all, the letters are like kind of a little bit larger and the pages are going fast. So other than that, this is very interesting book. So also the reason to be a page turner and going fast. So this book is like fantasy, like as its name say, fairy tale. So it's about a boy who lost a 17 years old boy who at age 7 lost his mother due to hit and run at the bridge, and since then his father coped with it by drinking and let's say over drinking and turning into alcoholic. So those years were a nightmare for him. He did some kind of revenges ugly thing with his supposedly friend, which he is not proud of. But anyways, he tried to help his father, and he was praying to a god to somehow help them and help his father stop drinking. That help came through one of the AA friend of uh, his father, Lindy, who was, let's say, his mentor and helped him stay off the path of the alcohol. Since then, you know that Charlie Reed, who's that boy, promised to God to do whatever it takes to just stop drinking his father. So he promised to do some kind of good things in the world. So that's how he actually got to know Mr. Bowditch, who fell off the ladder and hurt his leg, and no one actually will hear him because he was in the secluded house. A neglected house and no one actually passed there. So he heard his dog howling and his calls for help, and he decided to go and help the old guy. And he did. He jumped over the fence, called 911, and took care of his dog and his property while Mr. Bowditch was recovering in the hospital. But Mr. Bowditch was keeping secrets, and slowly Charlie was needed to be told those secrets in order to serve Mr. Bowditch. So slowly he uncovered one by one. First, he needed to pay the hospital bill, Mr. Bowditch, and he needed to tell Charlie the code for his safe um, uh, and at the house, and that's how Charlie found a gold pellets that Mr. Bowditch all these years sold to a certain jeweler who's Mr. Heinrich, who actually took a lot of money and earning a lot from those transactions. So in order to keep quiet and not ask a lot of questions about where that gold came from. And after that, Mr. Bowditch slowly got into the situation where he actually needed to trust Charlie. But Charlie could be trusted because he was a good guy and he wanted to do good to, let's say, does his job to repay to, let's say, to the God for helping him keeping his dad alcohol free. So in those moments, um, Mr. Bowditch was kind of confiding in him, and he was preparing to leave everything after his death to him, and to reveal a secret that he was keeping all his life from everybody in this world. And that is that Mr. Bowditch's shed is padlocked closed because it has a passage to another world. Yeah, silly. So up to that point, the story goes pretty, let's say, normally, like normal life people. But since then, like when Charlie discovers the passage and another world, he actually goes like into the fairy tale. He needs to save that dog that he actually grow fond of, and he wanted to save her life by going into the some certain sundial. And spinning sundial backwards to, let's say, rejuvenate the dog, and let's say, give another better life to her, at least for some several years. And that's how he got to know a lot of silly, odd people there, mostly good, but a lot of bad guys there. So bad guys at some point took over that city over there, and at some point Charlie was becoming a prisoner to those bad guys, and that part was just like kind of too hard for me to digest and read. So that part when he is prisoner, I just skipped a few chapters and pages, and I went to the part when those princes of that city, haunted city, needed to save their citizen and everyone in the city by actually discovering who the bad guy is. Anyways, it's a really like a lot of modern fairy tales are connected into one, and let's say mean one, like the fairy tales for adults, not for children. Like he says that every fairy tale has kind of children version, or like, or let's say parent approved version, but this one is more like adult and dark, the darkest possible fairy tale option, like Rapunzel, Rumpelstiltskin, whatever. I mean, lots of Jack and the Beanstalk, lots of other fairy tales connected into that one. Anyways, Charlie's a good guy. Charlie became the prince of that another world, and he just kind of saved that world together with the princess, but he ultimately needed to go back to his world and to his dad. Anyways, it's a really strong story, really creative, and I usually don't read those dark and fantasy and, let's say, sci-fi movies and books based on that. So it's just like I had impression that I wouldn't like it, but I was amazed. I was just like couldn't stop reading, and I just read it in a few days. So I don't be discouraged by the volume of the books. This book, which is around 600 pages and 32 chapters, but you know, it's really interesting. I really loved it. I enjoyed it, and I hope that you will enjoy it too. Let me know what you think about it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.